But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Mr. President, did he? I just want to clarify. Did he raise any of these concerns with you privately before he raised them publicly? And this is the guy you put in charge of cutting spending. Should people not take him seriously about spending now? Are you saying this is all sour grapes?
No, he worked hard and he did a good job. And I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. I think he got out there and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office, and he's got nice offices too. But there's something about this one. I was telling the Chancellor, this is where it is. People come in here, even from Germany. They come in and they walk into the Oval Office, and it's just a special place. It's, you know, World War I, it started and it ended here, and World War II, and so many other things. Everything big comes right from this beautiful space. It's now much more beautiful than it was 6 months ago. A lot of good things are happening in this room, and I'll tell you, he's not the first. People leave my administration and they love us, and then at some point they miss it so badly, and some of them embrace it and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it, but we have it with others too. They leave and they wake up in the morning and the glamour's gone, the whole world is different, and they become hostile. I don't know what it is. Someday you'll write a book about it and you'll let us know.
No, but what we need to hear is a company is struggling and it decides, you know what, these robots are cheaper than humans. And then we see the beginning. We also need to see who graduates from school and gets a job. No one is willing to tell me about who's cut back in hiring.
Do you think that's what Amazon is thinking on these tests of delivery robots?
I think Amazon is thinking about anything that gets it to you cheaper. I think that they feel like we have to get it to be like India. I mean, they're radical in what they want to do, and that's why I think that the Walgreens deal, got to be careful what Walgreens does. This stuff is aimed at the companies that used to go brick and mortar.
Oh, I see. You're saying Amazon's continued ascent in some ways as a threat. Although, again, right, you want to reward your shareholders. You've got to continue to try to be more and more efficient. So you're going to continue to cut employees that can be replaced by AI or by robots.
Well, look, when you
by the way, we've got a lot of drivers. We talked about this years ago. It hasn't happened, but we may be a lot closer now in terms of starting to think people who drive for a living may not have that long a future.
I don't think that's wrong. Look, I was looking at GTC, the NVIDIA Bugfest, and there was a robot there that was picking up packages. I was talking with Jensen's person on this. He just said, look, that robot doesn't need healthcare. That robot can have a box fall on his head, and that robot comes up and just comes right back. And that's kind of where we are. I mean, people are expensive. And I think people don't realize that are away from this, that if you can cut out the expensive people, numbers go higher.
They do. So you're rewarding shareholders, but you're meanwhile going to have an unemployment crisis in this country?
No,
is a possibility one day or no?
They can't find workers, Stephen. They can't find workers that do these jobs during the night shift at a price that doesn't ruin their
You want to just thread that needle, don't you? You just want to thread it perfectly.
You betcha.
Yeah. It's nothing bad's going to happen. And I hope you're right.
In September, you announced that Anduril had deployed 300, by that point, deployed 300 autonomous surveillance towers, ASTs, in support of Customs and Border Protection. Can you update us where that number is now, if you were to put out a press release?
Yeah, no, I think the right framing on this is probably less about the number of towers and more about total coverage. We're deployed across somewhere between a third and half of the entire southwest border at this point. There tends to be this belief that border security is this super partisan topic. It's actually not. Most of the growth for Anduril in our work was under the Biden administration. Everyone agrees that you need to know what's coming across in both directions. And what we're able to do using the autonomous surveillance technology is give our Border Patrol officers superhuman powers so that they can see things that they wouldn't be able to see otherwise. And they can make their own decisions about, how to handle apprehensions, how to handle pass-throughs. Right. And it's up to the Congress, obviously, to decide what the policy is for what you do with that data. But we're on the data providing side.
very, very happy to be becoming a public company today. This has been part of the journey that we've been on. We're thrilled to have so much investor interest in the company. Yeah, we executed, I think, a really great roadshow and found that across every sector, from major mutual funds to long onlys to family offices, hedge funds, sovereigns, retail, across the board, there's a lot of interest in investing in stablecoin platforms and networks like Circle. And so it's been a tremendous day, very proud moment for all of us here at Circle.
What are you going to use the money to expand for?
Well, Circle has grown quite a bit over the last several years. We're profitable and generating cash. And so, there is a component of cash in this IPO. We're in a period where we're going from the early adopter phase of this technology to the mainstream scaling phase. And as we go into that mainstream scaling phase, there's extraordinary opportunities to grow and expand internationally. We're building many new products, kind of building more infrastructure that's necessary to get ready for large-scale internet companies, commerce firms, banks, building on this. We're building new products that really try to make this an easier to use technology for everyday payments. And so we've got product investments, we've got growth expansion. There's a lot to do. And I think this really represents the internet kind of colliding with one of the largest markets that's ever existed. And we're part of building this new internet-based financial system, which is one of the largest target markets that the internet has really ever gone after. And behind what we do is issuing a fully reserved digital dollar or dollar digital currency, full reserve money that can work at the speed and velocity of the internet at scale is so key. We don't want the base layer of money on the internet to be fractionally reserved. We don't want credit IOU risk in the money that is free circulating on the internet. And so we think from a monetary perspective, from a safety soundness perspective, we need this ultra safe form of digital cash money. And that's why central banks and prudential regulators all around the world agree with that. That's why the rule books that are being put in place enshrine in law that safety in these digital cash instruments. We think this is the right foundation for the internet financial system.
On that end, that makes sense in terms of safety, but if you're not FDIC insured, how can you really appeal to a broader array of individuals?
Well, one thing to remember is that banks are FDIC insured because they take 12x leverage with your deposits. They're huge risk-taking institutions, whereas a stable coin under these rules, under things like the Genius Act, are only able to hold these high-quality liquid assets, ultra-secure and safe, short-duration treasuries, treasury collateralized repo, the safest assets in the world. And of course, we do need to hold capital. We need to, think about the market and liquidity risk of short-duration treasuries. But that's very, very different than a levered-up deposit base, which is why they have to hold, 8% capital and why they have to participate in these insurance schemes. And so FDIC is really designed around risk-taking money. We want ultra-safe, very sound, full reserve money as the foundation of the internet financial system. It's a step forward in the safety and soundness, I believe, and the ultimate efficiency of how money can work in the world.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And Trump and Elon go at each other. And we know this is nothing but the Hegelian dialectic. We've seen this movie before. I told you it was definitely coming. And this will not last long. But Trump and Elon are doing textbook Hegelian dialectic. Divide and conquer. It has never failed. Some people are going to be on Trump's side. Some people are going to be on Elon's side. It never fails. The sheep fall for it every time. And then we have Jim Cramer on automation. And we know he's always talking about robots. But guys, these robots are ready. They're not coming. They're already here. We already saw the testing phase. When I first started, also wrote in the book, we already know these machines are definitely coming. But robots work 24/7. They don't need health care. They don't call out, and they definitely don't talk back. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Jim Cramer going over the talking points, what they always say when they're trying to bring in these machines. Either they can't find workers or the work is too dangerous. We know there's plenty of workers wanting to get these jobs. And we have so many kids that are in high school where we used to have programs in high school that were geared towards a certain trade. And you still see that in Europe. In the United States, they clearly do not want to prepare these kids. And that's the reason why you got to prepare your own. Educate your own. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Andrew using technology, superhuman technology, to see everything. Autonomous surveillance. And majority of these big corporations, when you're walking in, something is recording you. And eventually your whole day is going to be recorded and saved in the cloud. There's going to be absolutely nothing you do that Big Brother won't be able to see. And like I always tell you, it's not going to be any more crime. You don't need judges anymore. You don't need lawyers anymore. Because it's not if you're guilty. We know for a fact you're guilty. But when you have technology like this, it can be hacked. So someone can place you somewhere where you never were, but you're on the camera. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. We've seen this movie before. And we have IPO of Circle today. And we know Goldman Sachs has their hands all over it. But stable coins are the foundation of this new economy. Also, we know DeFi is the new banking. And we know universal basic income is going to be paid out in stable coins. People getting that free money. We saw the simulation doing the C word. Giving people free money, they'll sit at home and be quiet while everything around them is on fire. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Elon says tariffs will cause recession. And right now, we're going to get the truth out of Elon because, again, this is the Hegelian dialectic. And Elon brings up Epstein when it comes to Trump. You can't make this stuff up. Remember, your life is an illusion, and TV is your reality. And then we have the trade war, bond market, interest rates too high, and then all these geopolitical events. And if you're part of my Patrons, you know there's been a lot of crazy things going on. And we know why. The only thing they need is that one crisis to bring in all this technology. It is definitely ready. So therefore, the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books.
Morgan, that war of words is not over. Elon Musk just posting on his social media site a short time ago. He says this: the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. So Elon Musk sharply critical now of the president's signature economic initiative, his tariffs, also sharply critical of the president's singular legislative goal for the year, his big, beautiful bill on the spending. Elon Musk also coming out, swinging. I'm sort of at a loss for words here, how to characterize this at this point, guys, suggesting that he agrees with a user on social media who says that the president should be impeached and should be replaced by J.D. Vance, his vice president, who we haven't heard from, by the way, as all of this has been going on. Elon Musk also suggesting that President Trump's name is in some Epstein files that are being hidden, and that's why they're being hidden. I mean, this is getting very deep and very personal, and much of the country has been watching this afternoon. Kanye West weighing in, trying to be sort of a peacemaker here, maybe the sane man in the conversation, suggesting that he's upset that the two are arguing, saying, we love you both so much. Then we also saw the New York Times just popping a story within the past couple of moments suggesting that Steve Bannon has been watching this, the longtime conservative advisor, outside advisor to President Trump. Bannon siding with President Trump here, saying that he is urging
urging President Trump to begin an investigation of Elon Musk. He wants the president to cancel all of Musk's contracts and launch investigations into Elon Musk's alleged drug use, saying he believes that Elon Musk is an illegal alien and should be deported from the country immediately. Also, Bannon saying that he wants an investigation of Elon Musk's attempt earlier this year to go to the Pentagon and get a briefing, a classified briefing on China. Bannon saying that Musk's security clearance should be suspended during these investigations. That, according to the New York Times, obviously a security clearance, vitally important if you're an enormous defense contractor who deals with some of the nation's most sensitive intelligence guys. So the fallout here, national, global, epic. It deals with politics, it deals with business, and a good portion of the country is just watching it with their jaws on.
Very simply, we cannot have open migration from any country where we cannot safely and reliably vet and screen those who seek to enter the United States. That is why today I am signing a new executive order placing travel restrictions on countries including Yemen, Somalia, Haiti, Libya, and numerous others.
We think that that could be a catalyst for a bit of a correction, because close to all-time highs, but we still have all the problems. We have a trade war. We have a sort of signs of economic slowdown. Valuations are back to highs. So, that's sort of what I'm kind of expecting, a little bit of a pullback here.
Does that negative
going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box, provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction.